The story starts with a guy named Park Jay-hun. One day, his best friend, Yo-reum, called him. She asked him to bring some chicken claws and a bottle of soju to cheer her up because she was feeling sad. Yo-reum was a TV producer, and she was kind of seeing a chef named John Jang, who worked with her. They often went out together, but John hadn't officially asked her to be his girlfriend. This made Yo-reum really upset. Later, John Jang called Yo-reum, saying he wanted to meet and talk about something important. But what he said surprised her. John told Yo-reum that he only saw her as a best friend. This shocked her because he had acted like he wanted something more, and it made Yo-reum really mad. She left the meeting feeling annoyed and hurt. When Yo-reum got home, she talked to Jay-hun, who had been her friend since college. They lived in the same building, with Jay-hun staying upstairs and Yo-reum downstairs. One day, Yo-reum had a big problem at work. Her boss was mad because the TV shows she made didn't have many viewers. She had to work harder, or her team might get paid less. Things got worse when Yo-reum found out another producer, Chai-ri, had stolen her idea. Chai-ri's show got high ratings, but Chai-ri wasn't very nice. She added inappropriate scenes to her shows just to make people watch. Even when her bosses told her to stop, Chai-ri didn't listen because she thought those scenes made her show popular. Meanwhile, a guy named Sang-woo, who worked with Yo-reum, told her something surprising. Chai-ri had hired John Jang to join the second season of a show called Kingdom of Love. Sang-woo said John Jang had even turned down 100 dates just to join the show and was willing to do anything to stand out. Feeling upset, Yo-reum asked her best friend, Jay-hun, for help. She wanted him to pretend to be her boyfriend for one day and come to the event, acting super cool. On the day of the shoot, everything seemed fine. But during a break, Yo-reum overheard John Jang talking into a live microphone. That's when she found out that John Jang had been using her all along. He joked that dating older women saved him money. This made Yo-reum feel really hurt and angry. Not long after, Sang-woo came running with some bad news. He said the filming drone was missing, and if they couldn't find it, they would have to start everything all over again. Everyone searched everywhere until they finally found the drone, but it was stuck in a muddy area. Yo-reum had to jump into the mud bath to get it back. She ended up covered in mud and felt really gross. Just then, Jay-hun came to pick her up, but he showed up wearing super casual clothes. Yo-reum felt so embarrassed and told him to leave. When Jay-hun got home, he got a phone call and rushed to meet his mom and sister. Jay-hun actually came from a rich family, and his mom and sister were trying to pick a painting for their art gallery. There, Jay-hun suggested choosing the one on the right because it was his late dad's favorite. His mom also asked him to agree to go on a blind date. Later, Yo-reum met her two best friends, Hae-jin and Dae-shik. She told them how Jay-hun had made her feel awkward in front of John Jang. Dae-shik then told Jay-hun that John Jang had been playing with Yo-reum's feelings. He said it was time for Jay-hun to do something and act cooler about the whole situation. After that, Jay-hun went on a blind date set up by his mom. The date was with a woman named Ji-yeon, who was an arts manager and a university teacher. But the date didn't go well. Jay-hun didn't seem interested, and Ji-yeon felt hurt because she had tried hard to make a good impression, but Jay-hun ignored her. Later, Jay-hun said sorry for going on the blind date. He explained that his mom had pressured him, and he also had some personal stuff on his mind. After that, he got dressed up really nicely and went to pick up Yo-reum at her work. This time, he looked very handsome and classy. At the same time, Yo-reum was trying to return John Jang's necklace. The necklace had accidentally fallen into a big jar of soy sauce that had been aging for 7 years. Jay-hun helped carefully with the task, so they wouldn't ruin the precious soy sauce. When Jay-hun succeeded, John Jang noticed him. He was so impressed that he even invited Jay-hun to have lunch. But right then, Jay-hun went to pick up Yo-reum, leaving John Jang curious about their relationship. Soon after, Jay-hun explained that he wanted to show Yo-reum how much she meant to him. He didn't want to be in a relationship without being clear about his feelings. To him, Yo-reum was someone who always made his heart feel full. The next day, Jay-hun met with Dr. Choi. During the meeting, Dr. Choi asked Jay-hun to come back to the hospital and work as a neurologist again. But Jay-hun said no. It seemed like something from his past made him not want to return. A long time ago, Both Jay-hun and his dad had worked as neurologists at the hospital. But for some reason, Jay-hun quit and decided to work as a plastic surgeon at a small clinic instead. Meanwhile, Yo-reum was having a tough time. Her manager kept scolding her, saying her team had to make the TV show more popular within a week, or they'd get paid less. So, Yo-reum came up with a new idea. She decided to film a crab-catching episode to try to get more viewers. Around the same time, Ji-hun visited Jay-hun at his clinic. She invited him to dinner, saying she just wanted to make friends. Ji-hun had lived in America for a long time and didn't have many friends here. Jay-hun agreed to have dinner with her that weekend, even though they had first met on a blind date. Later that night, Jay-hun, Yo-reum, Dae-shik, Hae-jin, and Hyun-so all hung out together. They laughed, talked, and had fun. But during the gathering, Dae-shik brought up something that happened a few years ago, and it seemed to catch everyone's attention. Back then, Yo-reum had a boyfriend named In-woo. One day, he proposed to her, and she was so happy. But a few days later, In-woo got news that his company was sending him to work overseas. He asked Yo-reum to leave her job and go with him, but Yo-reum didn't want to give up her dream job. This led to a big fight, and sadly, In-woo decided to leave her. Later, Yo-reum asked Jay-hun to pick her up, but Jay-hun got an emergency call and had to rush to the hospital. He faced a really hard decision because 2 patients needed surgery right away, but there was only one operating room. Jay-hun chose to help the accident victim since they had a better chance of surviving. Sadly, the other patient, a fire victim, was badly hurt and couldn't be saved. After the surgery, Jay-hun got terrible news. The fire victim was his own father. His dad had been in a gas explosion while trying to save the accident victim. His injuries were so bad that he couldn't be recognized, and he didn't survive. This event broke Jay-hun's heart. He blamed himself for his father's death and decided to leave the hospital. He became very quiet and stayed away from people. The only person who could cheer him up was Yo-reum. She even invited him to live in her building since the second floor was empty at the time. Now in the present, Chae-ri was approached by someone from her show. They asked her to remove a fight scene from the filming, but Chae-ri refused. She cared more about getting high ratings than the person's feelings. At the same time, Yo-reum planned to film a crab-catching scene, but the fishermen wouldn't let her join. They believed having women on the boat was bad luck. So, Yo-reum asked Sang-woo to handle the filming for her while she stayed behind. But Sang-woo accidentally took her car keys, so Yo-reum couldn't rest in the car. Meanwhile, Jay-hun was having dinner with Ji-hun. Suddenly, he got a call from Hae-jin saying Yo-reum was stuck on the beach. Jay-hun quickly left dinner and went to help her. When he arrived, he let Yo-reum rest in his car for the night. The next day, the fisherman returned, and the filming went well. During the shoot, Yo-reum's kindness and support helped Sang-woo decide not to quit his job. As time went by, the TV show still didn't get better ratings. The director decided to cancel Yo-reum's program, leaving her feeling really sad. Things got even worse when she had to spend her birthday all alone. Meanwhile, Jay-hun was having dinner with Ji-hun again because their last dinner was cut short. When Yo-reum got home, she was shocked to see In-woo waiting for her. He had come back to Korea just to see her. He brought cake, flowers, and an apology for her birthday. But Yo-reum didn't want to get back together with him and asked him to leave. From a distance, Jay-hun also saw her holding a birthday cake. Later, Yo-reum celebrated her birthday with Jay-hun. After the party, Jay-hun helped her put up a mosquito net in her room to keep the bugs away. While they were setting it up, things got a little silly, and they both ended up falling over while trying to catch mosquitoes. The next day, Chae-ri had trouble when someone came to her seeking revenge. It caused a big scene, and Chae-ri ended up breaking her nose. She had to visit Jay-hun's clinic for treatment. While there, Chae-ri offered Jay-hun a spot on her TV show, but he politely said no. Meanwhile, because of all the drama, Yo-reum's manager asked her to join Kingdom of Love Season 2 to help keep Chae-ri under control. At first, Yo-reum didn't want to do it. But after thinking about her team's struggles, she agreed, but on one condition that her whole team had to be part of the show. She made the decision to help her team earn a stable income. In the evening, Yo-reum got a call from her mom saying her dad had been rushed to the hospital. Worried, Yo-reum quickly went to see him. She tried to call Jay-hun for help, but he was busy and didn't know what was happening. While on her way, she bumped into In-woo, who offered to take her to the hospital. When they arrived, the doctor said her dad needed surgery right away. Thankfully, the operation was successful, and her dad started to recover. Yo-reum's mom told her to go home and rest since she had work the next day. She also thanked In-woo for helping Yo-reum during such a hard time. When In-woo took Yo-reum home, he insisted on staying for dinner. Even though Yo-reum wasn't sure about it, she agreed because she felt thankful. During dinner, In-woo tried to use the moment to get closer to Yo-reum. At the same time, Jay-hun came home and saw In-woo with Yo-reum. Feeling jealous, Jay-hun purposely caused a scene to make In-woo leave. However, his actions made Yo-reum really upset. A few days later, Yo-reum and Chai-ri worked together for an audition. They didn't agree on who should join Kingdom of Love Season 2. Yo-reum wanted Ji-wan, a plus-size girl, to be chosen because she thought it would make the show feel more natural. But Chai-ri thought Ji-wan wouldn't fit and might ruin the event. In the end, Chai-ri let Ji-wan join, but she warned Yo-reum that if the ratings went down, it would be her fault. Later, Jay-hun shared some happy news. Yo-reum's dad was going to come home the next day. Earlier, Jay-hun had talked to the doctor and even helped with the hospital bills to make sure everything was okay. One day, In-woo invited Yo-reum to dinner at a nice restaurant. During the dinner, he surprised her by proposing. Even though his intentions were good, Yo-reum didn't know what to do. She still had feelings for him, but she couldn't forget the pain from the past. She wasn't ready to give him an answer yet. When Yo-reum got home, she asked Jay-hun for advice. Should she say yes to In-woo? Jay-hun told her to say no. He thought she deserved someone who wouldn't leave her for work. But Yo-reum was 37 years old, and she dreamed of getting married and having kids, like many other women. This made her decision even harder. While Yo-reum was at work, she got a surprise gift from In-woo. It was a balloon that said, "Will you marry me?" along with a pair of fancy shoes for their next meeting. Meanwhile, Hae-jin tried to convince Jay-hun to tell Yo-reum how he really felt. She believed they loved each other, but Jay-hun wasn't sure if he should. One day, In-woo visited Jay-hun at his place. He warned Jay-hun to stay away from Yo-reum because they were planning to get married. Jay-hun didn't agree, so In-woo suggested a fair competition. He said Jay-hun couldn't use their friendship to win Yo-reum's heart. Later, Jay-hun went to an art exhibition hosted by his mom and saw Ji-yeon there. She seemed close to his mom. During their chat, Ji-yeon asked if she was the type of woman he liked. But Jay-hun told her they should stop seeing each other because she always left him feeling confused. After the event, Jay-hun called Yo-reum, saying he had something important to tell her. It was raining that day, so Jay-hun planned to pick up Yo-reum from work. But In-woo also showed up, wanted to take her to dinner. In the end, Yo-reum decided to go with In-woo instead of Jay-hun. In-woo later told Yo-reum about his talk with Jay-hun. He said Jay-hun had asked him to stay away from her. In-woo refused to apologize, saying he didn't believe men and women could just be friends. When Yo-reum got home, she went straight to Jay-hun to talk. She thought he would bring up what had happened with In-woo. But instead, Jay-hun got upset. He thought Yo-reum was too quick to forgive In-woo. He told her she shouldn't trust someone who had left her in the past. This led to an argument between them. The next day, Yo-reum's parents came to visit. Her mom found the ring In-woo had given her and told Yo-reum to accept his proposal without waiting any longer. After thinking about it, Yo-reum decided to say yes to In-woo. Soon, both families met to plan the wedding. They found out the venue they wanted was fully booked for 6 months, except for one date next month. It even came with a discount. Even though it felt rushed, Yo-reum agreed to get married next month. She started packing her things to move in with In-woo. Before leaving, she said goodbye to Jay-hun and thanked him for always being there for her. One day, Jay-hun saw a pre-wedding photo of Yo-reum and In-woo in a group chat. It made him think about telling Yo-reum how he felt, but he decided not to because In-woo was there too. A few days later, just 10 minutes before the wedding, a woman named Ri-eun came to talk to Yo-reum. She revealed that she was pregnant with In-woo's child. Ri-eun didn't want to ruin the wedding and said she planned to keep the baby, but she left the decision up to Yo-reum whether to continue with the wedding or not. Yo-reum then met with In-woo to talk about it. She found out that he had kept this secret because he didn't want the wedding to be canceled. Yo-reum felt hurt and betrayed. Even though Enwoo apologized, she couldn't go through with the wedding. In front of all the guests, Yo-reum announced that the wedding was canceled. It was a very hard moment for her, but Jay-hun stayed by her side. He took her to an inn near the beach to help her feel better. This inn was special to Jay-hun because it was where he stayed alone after his father passed away. Even though Yo-reum was very sad, Jay-hun gently encouraged her to eat, reminding her that being sad takes a lot of energy. In the evening, Mrs. Kim, the owner of the inn, shared her story with Yo-reum and Jay-hun. She told them how she had lost her husband on her son's birthday. After that, she raised her children all by herself. But as they grew older, her kids left home, and she felt very lonely and sad. One day, Mrs. Kim fainted on the street, and Jay-hun happened to help her. After that, she invited him to visit her home. At first, Jay-hun was too busy to go, but later, he finally visited and asked if he could stay there for 3 months. While staying there, Jay-hun spent most of his time alone in his room. Mrs. Kim could sense that he was carrying a lot of sadness, even though he never told her why. She also asked Yo-reum why she chose to be with someone like Enwoo when someone as kind and caring as Jay-hun was always there for her. The next day, Jay-hun encouraged Yo-reum to return home. He didn't want her to stay stuck in her sadness. He told her that he understood how it felt to be lonely and didn't want her to feel the same way. On their way back, Yo-reum got a call saying one of the cast members of Kingdom of Love couldn't make it. She was asked to come to the office right away. When she got there, Chairi was upset with her. She scolded Yo-reum for being hard to reach and said she shouldn't use her failed marriage as an excuse. Chairi even insisted that Yo-reum should invite Jay-hun to join the show as a participant. Meanwhile, Enwoo was still waiting outside Yo-reum's house. Jay-hun confronted him and told him to stay away from Yo-reum. But Enwoo didn't give up. He said he wanted to fix things with her. Later, Yo-reum called her mom to let her know she was okay. Her mom apologized for pressuring her into rushing the marriage and promised not to force her anymore. After the call, Yo-reum asked Jay-hun to join Kingdom of Love. Even though Jay-hun didn't like the idea, he surprisingly agreed to do it for Yo-reum. Soon, the filming began. Each participant introduced themselves in front of the camera. John Jang was shocked when he saw Jay-hun joining the show. To make things even more surprising, Ji-yeon was also part of the event. For their first task, the participants had to gift clothes to each other that would be worn at a party that night. Those who didn't get their clothes in time would have to attend, wearing only their underwear. During a break in filming, Yo-reum visited Jay-hun in his room. She was curious about how he knew Ji-yeon. Jay-hun admitted that he had been paired with Ji-yeon for the event. He also told Yo-reum that he wanted to talk to her after filming because he had something important to say. Meanwhile, Ji-yeon didn't get any clothes from the male participants for the party. Chairi came up with a plan to make Ji-yeon stand out. She told Ji-yeon to pretend to fall into the pool so the male participants would pay attention to her. Even though Ji-yeon didn't like the idea, she went along with it and ended up wearing pajamas. Seeing this, Jay-hun couldn't stay quiet. He stepped in to help Ji-yeon, showing his kindness. After the party, Jay-hun and Yo-reum had a heart-to-heart talk. Jay-hun decided not to rush things. He told Yo-reum he would be there for her, whether as a friend or something more, and that he understood she needed time. The next day, Junho came up with a plan. He decided to talk to Ji-wan because he thought dating someone less popular would help him gain attention. At the same time, Ji-yeon visited Jay-hun at his clinic. She wanted to know why he was part of the event. Jay-hun explained that he was only there because Yo-reum asked him to join as a replacement. Ji-yeon then suggested they pretend to be a couple during the show to avoid complications, since they already knew each other. Today, all the participants introduced themselves and showed their unique talents. John Jang was a chef. Timmy was a weather forecaster. Junho was the CEO of a startup. Ji-wan was a webtoon writer. Jang-gun owned a gym. So-yeon was a language teacher. Hoon he was an ice hockey player. Sumi was a lawyer. Ji-yeon was an art teacher. And Jay-hun was a doctor. When Jay-hun spoke, he kept looking at Yo-reum with a lot of emotion, which made Chairi suspicious. Meanwhile, Ji-yeon joined the event because she had been rejected by someone she loved. She hoped to meet that person again, making the other participants curious about who she was talking about. After filming, Woo came to apologize to Yo-reum for everything that had happened. He begged her for another chance, but Yo-reum was too hurt and told him she couldn't forgive him. At the same time, John Jang and Tae-mi started getting closer. Tae-mi seemed interested in a few guys, including Jay-hun, but John Jang warned Tae-mi to stay away from him because he already had lots of girlfriends. He also mentioned Jay-hun's connection with Yo-reum and even talked about his own past with her. Turns out, the crew overheard John Jang's comments, and it caused problems for Yo-reum. She tried to explain that her relationships with John Jang and Jay-hun were only friendships. Later, Yo-reum spoke to Jay-hun and told him she wasn't ready for a romantic relationship right now and just wanted to stay friends. The next day, the participants played a sumo game to decide their dates. Jay-hun showed his strength and won, choosing Ji-yeon as his date. Then it was the women's turn, and Ji-wan won with her bigger size. She picked Jun-ho as her date. To make things more dramatic, Chairi suggested that Jay-hun and Ji-yeon do a kiss scene to make Kingdom of Love more exciting for viewers. Meanwhile, Dae-shik and Hae-jin were busy preparing food for the crew. Hae-jin also gave Yo-reum some comforting words to cheer her up after her failed marriage. On the other side, Jay-hun told Dae-shik that Yo-reum had turned him down. Even though he was hurt, Jay-hun accepted her decision because he understood she needed time after her breakup. Still, he felt stressed about the whole situation. Shortly after, Dae-shik came up with a plan to help Jay-hun. He suggested using the push and pull method. This meant Jay-hun should keep his relationship with Yo-reum a bit uncertain, like getting close to her sometimes, and then pulling away so she would start to miss him and think about him more. Later, Jay-hun accidentally saw Yo-reum and Sang-woo together, acting like they were very close. He started wondering if something was going on between them, especially after he saw them go into a room together and act a bit suspicious. During this time, Sang-woo was showing footage of Ji-yeon purposely falling into the pool, which he believed was all part of Chairi's plan. In the evening, all the participants played another game, and the loser had to drink a cup of soju. Ji-wan kept losing, so she ended up drinking a lot. After a while, Ji-wan, who was halfway drunk, admitted she had never been in a romantic relationship before. But when Jun-ho tried to hug her, she pushed him away, looking scared. At the same time, Jay-hun was talking to Sang-woo about his type of woman and whether he liked older women. Sang-woo shared that he was single and had dated older women in the past. To keep Sang-woo from being interested in Yo-reum, Jay-hun showed him a picture of his younger sister, Hyun-so, and promised to introduce them. Meanwhile, Yo-reum suggested an idea for filming Jay-hun and Ji-yeon's kiss scene. She proposed they film it in a room with curtains, recording from outside to make it look romantic. Chairi loved the idea and gave her approval. The next day, Ji-wan and Jun-ho went on their first date. During the date, Ji-wan apologized for how she acted the night before. She revealed that when she was young, she had been harassed by her cousin, which left her with a lot of fear and trauma. She said she had kept this secret for a long time, but wanted to work on being braver. This emotional moment was caught on camera, and Chairi planned to use it to boost the show's ratings. At that time, Yo-reum didn't stay quiet either. She quickly asked Sang-woo to check with Ji-wan if it was okay to show the scene about her past on TV. Ji-wan had already shared her story with Sang-woo earlier by accident. She asked them not to air the scene because it would deeply hurt her mother. Yo-reum told Sang-woo to keep the recording safe and said she would try to convince Chairi. However, Chairi didn't care much about Ji-wan's feelings and insisted on airing the footage, saying it belonged to the company. To stop this, Yo-reum made a deal with Chairi. She promised to make the event a huge success with Jay-hun and Ji-yeon's kiss scene, but only if Ji-wan's recording was not shown. Later that night, just before filming, Yo-reum went to the dressing room to talk to Ji-yeon. She wanted to make sure Ji-yeon's feelings for Jay-hun were real and asked if she was okay with doing a kiss scene with him. But the bigger question was whether Jay-hun would agree to the kiss. Then, Yo-reum tried to convince Jay-hun, but he refused. He asked her how she would feel if he kissed someone else. Yo-reum didn't answer. Outside, the crew thought everything was ready, so they started filming. Then, out of nowhere, Jay-hun kissed Yo-reum instead of Ji-yeon. The crew, watching from outside, believed Jay-hun was kissing Ji-yeon. After that, Yo-reum quickly left, feeling that the kiss shouldn't have happened. The footage of the kiss eventually reached Chai-ri, but the microphone had been turned off, so there was no sound. This made Chai-ri confused, and after watching the video a few times, Chai-ri started to figure out which woman had kissed Jay-hun. The next day, when Yo-reum arrived at the office, she bumped into Sang-woo. Sang-woo admitted that he had deleted the recording of Ji-wan talking about her childhood abuse. Yo-reum was shocked because this could make the company very angry. Later, back at the filming location, Yo-reum spoke to Ji-yun. Ji-yun told her that she had seen the kiss between Yo-reum and Jay-hun. She said she didn't want the kiss scene to air under her name. Ji-yun also said that if Yo-reum really loved Jay-hun, she would leave the event. But if Yo-reum didn't have real feelings for him, Ji-yun would stay and let the scene be shown. Yo-reum explained to Ji-yun that she and Jay-hun were just friends. Ji-yun then asked her not to confuse Jay-hun anymore, because it had been very hard for her to win his heart. Ji-yun also shared her decision with Jay-hun, which made him upset and feel like everything was getting worse. Soon after, Jay-hun apologized to Ji-yun and asked her not to let the kiss scene be aired. But Ji-yun still gave her permission because she wanted to fight for Jay-hun's heart, even though she knew her love was one-sided. What they didn't know was that their conversation had been secretly recorded by Chai-ri. The next day, Yo-reum asked Jay-hun to forget about the kiss, saying it wasn't anything special. This was the second time Yo-reum rejected Jay-hun's feelings. Shortly after, Yo-reum went to Chai-ri and admitted that she was the one who kissed Jay-hun. However, Chai-ri already knew. Chai-ri asked if it was okay to air the scene, but before answering, Yo-reum brought up the recording of Ji-wan that Sang-woo had deleted. She tried to convince Chai-ri to forgive Sang-woo, but it didn't seem like Chai-ri was willing to let it go. Because of his actions, Sang-woo had to face Chai-ri's anger and was banned from the filming location. Yo-reum told him not to do something like that again, since it wasn't his job to delete any footage. The next day, Jay-hun visited Dae-shik and Hae-jin's restaurant. While there, he shared that Yo-reum had rejected him for the second time. He decided it was time to stop pursuing her. Hearing this, Dae-shik agreed with his choice and supported him. Meanwhile, Chai-ri re-edited the first episode of Kingdom of Love and added some new scenes. When the show finally aired, it seemed fine at first. But near the end, Chai-ri included a clip of herself kissing Jay-hun, followed by CCTV footage of Ji-yun leaving the set in tears. Chai-ri also added a recording of a secret conversation between Jay-hun and Ji-yun. This left viewers curious about who had kissed Jay-hun. Yo-reum was furious about what Chai-ri had done. But instead of apologizing, Chai-ri told Yo-reum she should be thankful because the drama would make the show more popular. After the broadcast, many viewers started supporting Jay-hun and Ji-yun as a couple, wishing they were dating in real life. One day, Sang-woo posted a nasty comment about Jay-hun on the show's official website. He claimed that Jay-hun was fired from the hospital for being a murderer. This made everyone on the staff start talking about it. Yo-reum told the team that the rumors about Jay-hun weren't true and were just gossip. Meanwhile, Jay-hun and Ji-yun were filming outdoors. It was clear that Ji-yun had feelings for Jay-hun, but he didn't feel the same way. Even so, Ji-yun stayed hopeful that he might one day accept her love. After filming, Yo-reum told Jay-hun about the bad rumors spreading about him. She asked for his advice on how to handle it. But Jay-hun thought the show might use the rumors to get more viewers. His words and attitude hurt Yo-reum, making her feel very sad. She asked Hae-jin to join her for a drink, but Dae-shik said Hae-jin couldn't drink because she was doing an IVF program. Feeling lonely, Yo-reum ended up drinking soju by herself that night. She even imagined Jay-hun was there to comfort her. The next day, John Jang made a special dish for Tae-mi, hoping to impress her. But after eating it, Tae-mi had to rush to the bathroom because the food made her feel sick. It turned out she didn't like John Jang's cooking. This left her disappointed because she had partnered with him only to get more followers on her social media. As John Jang was about to throw away the food, Ji-wan stepped in and offered to eat it. She said it tasted delicious, which made John Jang very happy. Meanwhile, Yo-reum met with Jay-hun to talk about the problems they were facing. But during their talk, Jay-hun brought up his feelings. He He said he felt like Yo-reum had been using him all along, which hurt him deeply. Later, Chae-ri asked Jay-hun to explain an article accusing him of causing a patient's death at the hospital. Jay-hun was shocked by the rumors and admitted to the accusations. After that, he suddenly left the filming location, and no one could contact him. The next day, the rumors about Jay-hun being a murderer spread everywhere. Some participants believed the story, while others didn't. Ji-yeon strongly believed in Jay-hun and refused to think the rumors were true. One night, a young man named Hyung-hoon, who was connected to the rumors, appeared. He explained that Jay-hun had saved his life in the past. His story helped Yo-reum finally understand what had really happened with Jay-hun's father's death. Hyung-hoon had been trying to find Jay-hun for a long time, but couldn't until the rumors spread, and he learned Jay-hun was on a TV show. The next day, Yo-reum planned to go pick up Jay-hun from where he was hiding. Chae-ri insisted on bringing some crew members along because she thought it might lead to a dramatic scene. On the other hand, Jay-hun was sitting alone on the beach when Yo-reum arrived. She wanted to approach him and apologize for everything. She realized he had been through so much, and yet she had pressured him to join the TV show. But when the moment came, she couldn't find the courage to say anything. Instead, Ji-yeon was sent to talk to Jay-hun while the cameras rolled. She was genuinely worried about him and told him there was someone he needed to meet. Finally, Hyung-hoon met Jay-hun. With tears in his eyes, Hyung-hoon apologized. He believed Jay-hun had left the hospital because of him. He felt guilty because Jay-hun's father had died trying to save him, and Jay-hun had quit the hospital after saving him as well. Because of that, Hyung-hoon was so inspired by Jay-hun that he decided to become a neurosurgeon, just like him. He had even been accepted into medical school to make his dream come true. The events of the day made Chae-ri appreciate Yo-reum's efforts in solving the problem. She also noticed that Yo-reum had feelings for Jay-hun, even if Yo-reum didn't want to admit it. In the end, Chae-ri decided to confess her own feelings because she had started liking Jay-hun too. When they returned to the dormitory, Ji-yeon brought Jay-hun some warm ginger tea to help him feel better. Yo-reum had also planned to bring drinks, but when she saw Ji-yeon was already with Jay-hun, she changed her mind and left. The next day, the director treated the entire crew to grilled chicken to celebrate the success of Kingdom of Love. However, Chae-ri was still annoyed by Sang-woo's presence and told him to leave the location immediately. Later, Yo-reum approached Sang-woo and invited him to eat together. She also encouraged him to apologize to Chae-ri, saying she believed Chae-ri would forgive him and allow him to return to the set. Meanwhile, Dae-shik and Hae-jin were very worried after learning about Jay-hun's past and the truth behind his father's death. They realized Jay-hun had been carrying a heavy burden all by himself. Dae-shik didn't want Hae-jin to feel the same kind of pain, so he encouraged her to talk to him if she ever had any problems. He also noticed that Hae-jin often cried in the bathroom because they hadn't been able to have a baby. One day, Hae-jin and Yo-reum went to a sauna to relax. Hae-jin apologized for not talking about her struggles with fertility before. Yo-reum was happy that her friend finally opened up. She encouraged Hae-jin, telling her that one day she would have a baby. On the other hand, Chae-ri found the person who had been spreading false rumors about Jay-hun. But Jay-hun told her to let the person go. Surprisingly, dealing with these rumors helped Jay-hun finally make peace with his father's death. Later that evening, a spooky-themed date was planned. Each participant was paired randomly with a partner. Hoon-hee was with Tae-mi, John-jang with Ji-wan, Soo-mi with Jang-gun, So-yeon with Junho, and Jay-hun with Ji-yeon. Their challenge was to enter a haunted house and find a piece of chalk to write their names on a board. During the spooky event, some participants tried to act brave, but ended up being really scared. After the filming was done, heavy rain forced everyone to rush back to the dormitory. Meanwhile, Yo-reum stayed behind to pack up the hidden camera by herself. As she was about to return, the road got flooded. Jay-hun noticed she was still outside and decided to leave Ji-yeon behind to go help Yo-reum. In the end, he carried Yo-reum through the flooded road. When they arrived at the dormitory, the participants started talking about how Jay-hun had left Ji-yeon to help Yo-reum. They began to wonder if Jay-hun and Yo-reum had a special relationship. John-jang mentioned that they were close friends. At the same time, Ji-yeon saw Jay-hun and Yo-reum coming back together, and it made her feel very sad. The next day, Sumi spoke to Jay-hun about what happened. She explained that the audience now saw Jay-hun as the strong one and Ji-yun as the weak one. People were teasing Ji-yun because it looked like she cared more about Jay-hun than he cared about her. Ji-yun had been hurt deeply by his sudden decision to leave, so Sumi said Jay-hun needed to explain why he had acted that way. Today, the male participants got to choose a partner for a date. Jay-hun picked Ji-yun without hesitation. John Jang chose Tae-mi, and Jun-ho selected Ji-wan. Meanwhile, Sumi caught the attention of both Jang-gun and Hoon-hee, who were trying to win her over. Unfortunately, So-yun wasn't chosen by anyone, and it seemed like the scary outing the night before hadn't changed the participants' preferences. This worried Chai-ri, who thought it might make the show less exciting for the viewers. To fix this, she decided to make So-yun the villain of the show to stir up more drama. Chai-ri later visited So-yun in her room. She told So-yun that not being picked might feel embarrassing. She suggested that So-yun be more bold in going after someone and said it was better to be seen as a villain than to fade into the background. But instead of helping, Chai-ri's words only made So-yun feel even sadder. On the other hand, Ji-wan apologized to Sang-woo and thanked him for protecting her. She acknowledged that Sang-woo had accepted the punishment of being banned from the set just to stop her confession about harassment from being broadcast. At the same time, John Jang apologized to Yo-reum for how he had treated her in the past. He admitted his mistakes and said he was sorry. Meanwhile, Jay-hun and Ji-yun went on a date, but it was clear that Jay-hun had many fans who didn't like Ji-yun. They teased her and called her weak. Surprisingly, Ji-yun didn't mind the nickname because she truly liked Jay-hun, even if it made her look vulnerable. However, Jay-hun didn't like the nickname. He wanted people to see Ji-yun as strong. To show he cared, he gave her a bracelet made from a rope he had broken earlier. Even though Jay-hun might not have loved Ji-yun, he still wanted to protect her from mean nicknames and unfair judgments. At the same time, Yo-reum felt very sad. Her friendship with Jay-hun was growing distant, and seeing him get closer to Ji-yun made her heart ache even more. On the other hand, Jun-ho and Ji-wan were on a date too. But Jun-ho kept talking about Ji-wan's harassment case, pretending to care about her, just so he could get the story on TV. Chai-ri found out about his plan and ordered him to take the recording to the editing room. In the evening, all the participants gathered to watch a rerun of Kingdom of Love. To everyone's surprise, Jun-ho talked about Ji-wan's harassment incident on the show. Hearing this, Yo-reum, who was at Dae-shik's restaurant, rushed back to the dormitory to confront Chai-ri. At the same time, Sang-woo went to see Chai-ri, planning to apologize. But when he realized Chai-ri was still airing Ji-wan's private story, he felt like his earlier sacrifice to protect Ji-wan was wasted. However, Chai-ri was impressed by Sang-woo's determination and allowed him to return to the filming location. Suddenly, chaos broke out when a man holding a knife stormed into the dormitory. Sang-woo tried to stop him, but got injured. It turned out the man's target was Jun-ho. The man had been scammed by Jun-ho in the past, losing all his belongings. Instead of showing sympathy, Chai-ri blamed the man for falling for the scam, which made him even angrier. Thankfully, Jay-hun and the other participants managed to stop the man before anyone else got hurt. And Yo-reum, who had just returned to the dormitory, was shocked by everything that had happened. The man was handed over to the police, and Sang-woo received medical treatment for his injuries. After the incident, both Chai-ri and Yo-reum were scolded by the director for not carefully checking the participants' backgrounds. They were told to finish the event quickly to avoid any more trouble. Not long after, Yo-reum confronted Chai-ri, asking why she let Jun-ho join the show even though he had legal problems. There, Chai-ri admitted she did it to create drama and make the show more exciting for viewers. She revealed that she was willing to do anything to make the event a success. After their talk, Chai-ri told all the participants that filming would be delayed for 2 days and that no one was allowed to leave the shooting location. During this time, Jun-ho tried to talk to Ji-wan to explain what had happened the night before. However, Ji-wan seemed to be avoiding him more and more. Meanwhile, Yo-reum and Jay-hun met up to talk and catch up. Even though they acted distant, it was clear they still cared about each other deep down. Around the same time, John Jang got news that his mom was sick, so he hurried home to see her. Ji-wan, feeling bored in the dormitory, insisted on going with him. When they arrived at John Jang's mom's restaurant, Ji-wan and his mom got along really well, even though they had just met. Ji-wan even praised his mom's cooking, which made John Jang very happy. Spending the day together brought Ji-wan and John Jang closer, and they started to like each other more. On the other hand, Yo-reum sat alone, enjoying her ice cream while thinking about the happy moments she used to share with Jay-hun. But now, she could only sigh as she watched Jay-hun and Ji-yun happily sharing ice cream together. The next day, Chairi had to meet the director because she had posted CCTV footage of the incident from the night before. This could have caused trouble for the company, but Chairi believed she had done the right thing, knowing the truth would eventually come out. Because of the footage, many people praised Jay-hun, Jang-gun, and Hoon-hee for their bravery in catching the culprit. However, the director still wanted to end the show. Soon, rumors began spreading that Kingdom of Love was coming to an end. Jay-hun started worrying about Yo-reum and how she might be feeling. He mentioned that their old house was still empty because he had rented it on purpose so no one else could take it. He wanted Yo-reum to move back in, knowing it wasn't easy to find a place to live in Seoul. That evening, Yo-reum went back to their old house. As she walked through the familiar rooms, memories of her time with Jay-hun came rushing back. Not long after, Jay-hun also arrived. In a quiet moment, Yo-reum opened up to him, admitting that her heart was still hurting but also beating fast because of him. The next day, Chairi reminded John Jang about something they had agreed to earlier, but he refused because he knew Kingdom of Love was ending soon. So, Chairi asked him to do a kissing scene with Tae-mi instead. She even threatened to release an interview video of John Jang if he didn't agree. While all this was happening, So-yeon wanted to leave early. She felt embarrassed because it seemed like no one was interested in her. But Yo-reum convinced her to stay, promising to help her with her problem. Finally, the filming began. Each participant received a coupon to give to their chosen date. Jay-hun picked Ji-yun as his date, which made Yo-reum feel a little jealous. Meanwhile, John Jang chose Tae-mi, even though he secretly had feelings for Ji-wan. Junho was supposed to go on a date with Ji-wan, but she decided to give her coupon to John Jang for just 30 minutes instead. At the same time, Sumi received invitations from both Hoon-hee and Jang-gun, who wanted to date her. Sadly, So-yeon felt embarrassed because no one asked her out, leaving her feeling left out again. On the other hand, Ji-wan's decision to give her coupon to John Jang upset Junho. He felt it would ruin the storyline of Kingdom of Love, but Ji-wan believed it was her decision to make. At the same time, Yo-reum apologized to Jay-hun for feeling jealous when she saw him with Ji-yun. However, they both agreed to put their feelings aside and focus on their work. Today was the day for the final dates. Jang-gun took Sumi to his gym, but all he wanted to do was show her his practice routine. Sumi felt annoyed, thinking he was just using her to promote his business. But Jang-gun explained that he had worked really hard to build his gym and just wanted to share it with someone he admired. The following day, Jay-hun and Ji-yun went to a park. Suddenly, Jay-hun asked the crew to stop filming because he had something important to say. He apologized to Ji-yun for not being able to return her feelings. However, he promised to choose her as his partner until the event was over. At that time, Ji-yun felt heartbroken because she had been rejected again. It seemed there was no place for her in Jay-hun's heart. On the other hand, John Jang was disappointed with Ji-wan. He asked why she had cut the coupon and only given him 30 minutes for their date. Ji-wan explained that she was scared of being rejected and didn't want to take up too much of his time on their last date. After their short time together, Ji-wan left, and it was Tae-mi's turn to go on a date with John Jang. During their date, Tae-mi surprised everyone by announcing they were supposed to do a kissing scene. Just as they were about to start, Ji-wan showed up to return John Jang's cell phone, which he had forgotten. John Jang quickly ran after Ji-wan, leaving Chairi very upset. She even wanted to force John Jang to do something embarrassing on camera, but Yo-reum convinced her not to. Later that night, Chairi was picked up by her stepmother, who blamed her for her half-sister's failed marriage. Her stepmother even said cruel things, like Chairi should have died with her biological mother. This hurt Chairi deeply. Behind her confident and bold personality, She was struggling with serious family issues. Since she was a teenager, her stepmother had ignored her and never showed her any love. When Chai-ri returned to the dormitory, she accidentally ran into Jay-hun. They had a brief talk, and Jay-hun shared his view of love. For him, love meant having someone by his side. But for Chai-ri, love meant feeling lonely. Soon after, Jay-hun met with Yo-reum, and they laughed and joked together. Chai-ri saw this moment on the CCTV camera and felt even more weighed down by her family problems and the constant blame she faced. Seeking comfort, she went to Jang-geun's room and asked to spend the night with him. Unfortunately, the towel covering the camera fell, capturing what happened. They ended up doing something fun. Jang-geun hoped it could turn into something more, but Chai-ri made it clear that it was nothing serious and there was no relationship between them. The next day, Jay-hun told Yo-reum that he planned to choose Ji-yeon as his partner at the end of the event. He wanted to protect her from any bad rumors. Meanwhile, So-yeon was feeling more frustrated with her situation. During filming, one of the crew members couldn't find So-yeon, but they had to keep filming because they were running out of time. Chai-ri thought So-yeon didn't have much of an impact on the show anyway. Finally, it was the big decision day. Each guy had to pick a partner, and if both agreed, they could continue their relationship after the event. Junho chose Ji-wan, Jang picked Tae-mi, and Sumi had two men interested in her again, but she chose Jang-geun. When it was Jay-hun's turn, he chose Ji-yeon. But to everyone's surprise, Ji-yeon turned him down. She realized she could never win his heart and didn't want to keep hoping for something that would only make her sad. Suddenly, they found So-yeon on the balcony, drunk. Seeing how dangerous it was, Yo-reum rushed upstairs to help her down. While trying to assist, Yo-reum slipped and fell. Thankfully, there was an emergency mattress ready, but Yo-reum had to be taken to the hospital for treatment. The incident shocked everyone, especially Chai-ri, and they had to stop filming. Chai-ri told everyone to go home. At the hospital, Yo-reum woke up after fainting. Yo-reum's mom was very worried and even suggested quitting the job. The director also told Chai-ri to write an apology to the committee to prevent further trouble. After a few days, Yo-reum was allowed to go home. She apologized to Jay-hun for turning him down before and finally admitted her true feelings. From that moment, they officially became a couple. Soon after, Dae-shik, Hae-jin, and Hyun-soo came to visit them. During the visit, Jay-hun announced his relationship with Yo-reum, and their friends were super excited and happy for them. The next day, Chai-ri apologized to everyone for the recent accident and thanked them for their hard work. Later, they all had to meet with the director because of rumors about a Kingdom of Love participant having a relationship with someone on the crew. The director wanted this issue resolved quickly before it caused more trouble. Hearing this, Yo-reum volunteered to handle it, thinking it was related to her relationship with Jay-hun. When Yo-reum got home, she talked to Jay-hun about the situation. She was worried that people might start saying bad things about him online. But Jay-hun reassured her, saying he was ready to handle whatever came their way. The next day, Yo-reum had another meeting with the director. Rumors were now spreading that she and Jay-hun were living together, which made people question if Kingdom of Love was real. Yo-reum tried to explain to the director that she and Jay-hun had been close friends for a long time, even before the show. At that time, Jay-hun was asked to join the filming as a replacement for an actor who couldn't make it. Thanks to this, the director was able to solve the big problem and keep things on track. The next day, after investigating, Chai-ri discovered that the person who wrote the gossip about the cast and crew's relationships was Junho. It turned out Junho already knew about Chai-ri's one-night encounter with Jang-geun and used it to threaten her. He demanded money, saying he'd tell the journalists if she didn't pay up. But Chai-ri refused to give in and told Junho to go ahead and tell the journalists if he wanted. Yo-reum was shocked when she heard this and didn't agree with Chai-ri's decision. She tried to convince Chai-ri to pay Junho to keep things quiet, but Chai-ri wouldn't budge. She didn't want Yo-reum to get involved in the mess. Meanwhile, Jay-hun had a meeting with Dr. Choi, a senior doctor at a hospital. Dr. Choi, who planned to retire in a few years, wanted Jay-hun to return to the hospital and take his place as a neurologist. However, Jay-hun wasn't ready to go back to the hospital just yet. In another part of the story, Sang-woo met Hyun-soo in person for the first time after chatting online for a while. To his surprise, Hyun-soo turned out to be Jae-hoon's sister. On the other hand, Ji-yeon was feeling really sad because people were criticizing her performance on Kingdom of Love. To cheer herself up, she decided to go shopping for a bit. One day, Ji-wan asked Yo-reum to meet her at a park. Ji-wan revealed she had a flash drive with all of Chai-ree's photos on it. Before this, Ji-wan had confronted Jun-ho and threatened to expose him to the journalists. She told him she would tell everyone that he had dug into Chai-ree's past and used her for media attention. Scared, Jun-ho gave her all the evidence and copies he had. Later, Yo-reum showed the flash drive to Jae-hun. Instead of using it to defend himself or give it to the media, Jae-hun told Yo-reum to either destroy it or give it back to Chai-ree. He admitted that what the media said about him was true and that he wanted to move on from his past trauma. He also decided it was time to return to his job as a neurologist. After everything, Yo-reum met Chai-ree at a shop to deal with the flash drive. Yo-reum decided to destroy it by soaking it in alcohol. But Chai-ree thought Yo-reum was being too reckless. She believed they could have used the flash drive to clear up rumors about her and Jae-hun. While they were talking, one of Chai-ree's old-school friends suddenly showed up and started saying mean things about her. Hearing the rude comments, Yo-reum got upset and stood up for Chai-ree, telling the person to apologize. Yo-reum had always wondered why Chai-ree acted so distant. It turned out that ever since college, Chai-ree had been jealous of Yo-reum's life. Yo-reum always seemed to have people's attention and love, while Chai-ree felt like she was left out. Meanwhile, Jae-hun told his best friend that he had decided to go back to the hospital. This was great news, and they were both happy about it. As time passed, Yo-reum decided to resign from her job. However, the director encouraged her to think about it carefully. He told her she could take a break and go on vacation, but hoped she would eventually return. At the same time, Jae-hun officially went back to work as a neurosurgeon. A few days later, all the Kingdom of Love participants gathered to watch the final episode together. Afterward, they held a Q&A session. Among all the couples, only Soo-mi and Jang-geun were actually in a relationship. The rest were just good friends. Suddenly, Jun-ho brought up rumors about Jae-hun and Yo-reum. To everyone's surprise, Ji-yeon stepped in and answered all the questions to protect Jae-hun and Yo-reum. After the event ended, Jae-hun met with Ji-yeon to thank her. Even though things between them didn't work out as they hoped, Ji-yeon didn't want anyone saying bad things about Jae-hun. Meanwhile, John Jang offered to drive Ji-wan home since it was late. During the ride, he shared his feelings with her and asked if she would consider being in a relationship with him. The next day, Yo-reum told Jae-hun that she had handed in her resignation letter, but the director had asked her to think about it. She asked Jae-hun for advice. Jae-hun suggested she take a break and come back when she felt ready. He reminded her that she had dreamed of this job since she was a kid, and it wasn't easy to reach this point. Maybe, like him, she just needed some time to clear her mind and figure things out. Time went by, and 7 months later, Chai-ree invited Sang-woo to join her new show. However, he politely declined, saying he wanted to wait for Yo-reum, who was still on vacation in Paris. Chai-ree had plans to create a reality show about families to explore the true meaning of family relationships. Meanwhile, Ji-yeon met a man who had admired her since her appearance on Kingdom of Love. He invited her to a nice restaurant, and they seemed to get along well. That evening, all the participants from Kingdom of Love gathered for a reunion. During the event, Ji-wan and John Jang surprised everyone by announcing their marriage. Later, when Jae-hun returned home, he was happily surprised to find Yo-reum back from France. The two were overjoyed to see each other after all that time. Now, they could finally be together and start their happily ever after. And that's how the story ends. The moral lesson from this series is never mix work and romance unless you're ready to lose your drone, your dignity, and your dinner plans.